How's it going, guys? So we got a new Pokemon presentation. They didn't call it a direct this time. It was Pokemon Presents Pokemon 25, which is the 25th anniversary of Pokemon. Now, for Americans such as myself, Pokemon has not existed in the States for 25 years. It's been 23 years, I suppose. Not even that. Pocket Monsters was released in 1996 in Japan and in 1998 here in North America, United States. So, I have been a lifelong Pokemon fan. I have not been consistently into Pokemon. There have been many years, like after Ruby and Sapphire, that's kind of where my Pokemon fandom with the anime and everything, because I used to religiously watch the anime and religiously play the games. But my interest started to wane in the series, and I don't think I know anyone who had kept a consistent interest in the series. I think that's just how it always is. We kind of just we fall out of love with certain things, just as we do with people, certain franchises. It's very hard to stay consistent with something and keep watching it and keep playing the games when it's something this big and vast. I did not start getting back into Pokemon until Pokemon Go, and I have credited that 1,000 times, and we even saw this in this presentation about things that are added into Pokemon Go, but I could not care less about that, so we're not really going to talk about that. If that's important to you, then that's fine. I recommend you go watch the Pokemon presentation, but we're going to start off with Pokemon Snap. They gave us a little bit more information, not really too much. There's not really so much you could really say about this game. I mean, it really is just about taking pictures. Now, there are little things where you could use items, you could play a flute to make Pokemon dance, and there's things you could do to make Pokemon shine. And I like that they showed the nighttime settings. I don't believe that they showed that in the first trailer, but it looked beautiful. This is a very aesthetically pleasing game. This is very good looking graphics, better than what's in Sword and Shield. And I get that Sword and Shield is a bigger game, but of course I think there's going to be plenty of people that are going to say, why wasn't the graphics of this game implemented into Sword and Shield, which kind of brings about those arguments that people had that said that they were holding back and just being lazy with those games, and that may be the case. But this is a very impressive looking game visually. They talked about you could edit photos, you could draw on the photos, you could post them online for others to see for inspiration, but I know I'm not going to use this feature because I just don't have time to be drawing on photos. I know what I'm going to do pretty much. This is going to be a game where I'm going to go through it. I'm going to get a little OCD, probably going to want to take as many pictures and complete as much things as possible, and then probably move on from that point. But I know a lot of people get a lot of longevity out of this game as they did with the original, and that is what they're banking off here. This is why they let off the video with this particular game, because not only is it an update, but this is the most nostalgic of the games that they had on display here in the video. And this is just a great moment for Pokemon fans. New Pokemon Snap. This is just an exciting, nostalgic thing that we just never thought we were going to see. Like, this was just kind of like one of those, it was a top-selling game, but it being the first 3D Pokemon game of all time, this was a novelty, really, when you kind of think about it. It was kind of like Hey You Pikachu. It was just kind of like lightning in a bottle, and that was about it. A flash in the pan, and then it was gone. But it is back, and I'm very happy to see it. So this will be out on April 30th, and I'm definitely going to be purchasing this game without a doubt. I am going to make sure that this, gets Amazon Prime to me pronto. Then we've got the Pokemon Diamond and Pearl remakes, which people thought were never going to happen. And if you've looked online, you know that people were clamoring for these remakes. They were demanding these remakes. It's kind of a little bit of the reason why the Let's Go series was kind of hated by certain fans. I was kind of disappointed. When I saw this, I thought that maybe when I saw they were going to have this presentation and I heard that they were going to do remakes. I thought maybe that they were going to have like a Let's Go series with the Gold and Silver games, which I still really loved. Let's Go Pikachu. I gotta tell you guys, go watch my review of that game. I still, I'm thinking about doing another playthrough of it, because that was just a really, pretty faithful remake of the original games, Red and Blue. And I would like to see them go back to it. Maybe get rid of the motion capturing, captures, and just go back to the old school battling and capturing. That would be ideal. And I wouldn't put it past them, because after 7 years of the release of the Ruby and Sapphire remakes, we are finally going to get Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. And people have wanted these remakes for quite some time, and I want these remakes too. This looks good. They seem like they're kind of going for the style that they did do with Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. Maybe people are going to be, a little bit let down by that, but I really like that graphical style. I'm happy that they're going with that. They're keeping it to scale. It's going to be a faithful remake. They, strangely enough, didn't talk about anything being added into it, like that they're going to add like any little features. But I am okay with faithful remakes. Like, people were very angry with games like, Link's Awakening, where they were like, oh, even though they had like a dungeon creator, like they didn't really add anything, no new dungeons or anything like that. But I am perfectly fine. I don't have a problem. Those games are good. You put them with a fresh coat of paint, and that's all they need. Sometimes a game doesn't need to be artificially lengthened and put filler stuff in there. I mean, we have to also remember that not everyone has played these games. And we still have to kind of appreciate that they took the time, and they're giving this game a massive facelift. I mean, these games are going to have some sharp-looking, cartoon, fun, cute graphics. And it's kind of like Link's Awakening. Some people hated it. They wanted something gritty. But, once again, go watch my review of that game. I was absolutely in love with it. And I think that, that they're very good, Nintendo, when it comes to remaking these games. And I don't have a problem. But, I don't really see anybody really talking about that, because I think they're just happy that they're getting these remakes. Because it has been 7 years since the last remakes. And they kind of, jumped back to the original games. Generation 1, and now they're kind of just jumping back. And, well, people were saying they didn't think that this was going to happen, and here they are actually happening, and they're going to be released, what do you know, just in time for Christmas. And I am sure that these games are going to sell like hotcakes. I would not even be surprised if maybe they outsell Sword and Shield. That would be very hard to do, but I would not be surprised at all. Look at all the Switch games. Let's Go Pikachu was a top seller. Sword and Shield was a top seller, and this is going to be no different. So I'm very excited to replay Diamond and Pearl with a new coat of paint, and I'm sure they're probably going to put a little something extra in there, even though, strangely enough, they didn't announce it. But this is just an announcement so far. There was, of course, gameplay footage, but you know what I mean. They'll probably do like the same thing they did with new Pokemon Snap. Probably release a second trailer, tell us a little bit more about the nitty-gritty that's going on. And then the biggest surprise of all, which I didn't think anybody saw coming, was something just totally unique. A totally unique side game of sorts that doesn't really seem so sidey, but it seems like it's interested in the lore of Pokemon, and that's Pokemon Arceus. And this is going to be taking place in the same region as Diamond and Pearl, in the Sinnoh region. And people really liked Sinnoh. I think that's kind of why people clamored for Diamond and Pearl. People really seem to like that region a lot, and I think it's a good region. I think there's a lot of great variety. I don't know if it's the best region. That's kind of hard to really pinpoint. I've never really thought about it. I mean, I really am so nostalgic for Kanto. But I love Johto. I mean, I'm very nostalgic for both of those because they're such early regions and they have so many memorable locales, and you could just pretty much close your eyes and picture it. Now, I've only been through Diamond and Pearl one time, so that may account for the reason why I don't feel like right away like I'm saying, oh, this is amazing. Maybe it is a great region. I don't know. There was a lot of interesting things about it, like that haunted manor and everything that they had in there, like in the forest. I thought there was some cool things, but I kind of closed my eyes and I can't really remember all that much about it. Like, I don't remember anything all that exciting, like, that really was like, oh, wow. Like, I don't know. I guess I need to go through it again, and I am sure that fresh coat of paint will probably, help. But this Arceus game looks just magnificent. First of all, it seems, not fully, that it kind of has a little bit of a different art style. Worlds different than what we're seeing in the Diamond and Pearl remakes. Way different than the Sword and Shield. But it sort of has like this less than refined look. Kind of like Breath of the Wild. Where, I like the look. It just doesn't look quite as sharp as I want it to be, but it's fine. It's interesting. It definitely had my eyes glued to it at all times. I was like, holy shit, what is this? There's just something about also the presentation of the trailer too. It's very steeped in lore. Like, this takes place a long time ago. The Sinnoh region is going to be different. Pokemon are roaming free. This is before there's really like a lot of trainers, and Pokemon are not really working with human beings hand in hand like they kind of are in the current timeline. There's going to be different things. There's going to be mountains. There's also, they show a lot of the trainers just throwing Pokeballs and just instantly capturing Pokemon. But you could also battle. I think you could battle against other trainers. And from what they were saying, you can battle against the wild Pokemon. I'm just a little confused why they were showing so many, like, just trainers just throwing balls and just instantly catching Pokemon. Just kind of like Ash Ketchum throwing the Pokeball at Caterpie and just instantly catching it because it was so weak. I don't know, but the thing is, there seems like there's a lot of interesting storytelling going on. We see that Cyndaquil is going to be in there. That penguin, I always forget his name, from Diamond and Pearl is going to be there. You're going to have a lot of familiar faces with Pokemon from a lot of different generations thrown in there. Of course, there's going to be a lot of Sinnoh Pokemon, but Pokemon from different generations. Like, you see that you've got Cyndaquil in there. So you've got Generation 2 representation from Gold and Silver. So, and we hear that there's a professor that brought these Pokemon here. So, I'm very excited to see where this is going to go. This is very interesting. I feel like they could really capitalize on storytelling here, which has always been something that Pokemon has been criticized a lot for. I really could not care less. I don't think that Pokemon needs a complicated story, but if they want to tell an interesting story here, I say go for it with this one. I really like the presentation of this trailer. I hope the presentation of the game is very similar to the trailer, and they kind of make it have this, like, Asian, ancient feudal Japan kind of feel to it. Because that's the kind of vibe I was getting for it. Like, this is ancient. This is like, we're back in olden times. Like, things are different, and you could tell by the clothing. You see the female character with the handkerchief over her hair, and you instantly just picture, like, just, more peasant-like people going out in the fields and capturing Pokemon. I just thought this seemed very unique, very interesting. It was a big surprise, and it really got me excited. A lot of exciting stuff happening on the Switch this year. Just really, from the Pokemon side of things, it's very exciting. This was a great presentation. I really wholeheartedly implore you to go watch this video. I think it's got some, great games on display. I am going to be buying all 3 of these games. I'm probably going to pick one of the either Diamond or Pearl. I won't be buying both of them. That's pointless. I don't do that anymore. I did that when I was a kid, buying, you know, red, blue, and yellow. I'm not doing that anymore. Forget about that shit. So anyway, a great video, great presentation, a great way to celebrate the 25th anniversary of Pokemon, also taking this in a whole new direction that wasn't even expected, and it seems like a very positive reaction to all these games. And there you go, guys. I'm very excited, and thank you all for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Click the bell so you get all notifications when I post all my new videos. I want to thank all my patrons for your continued support, and thanks again, guys. I'll see you next time.